Hey guys, it's Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch, and I know it's been about a week since I put out a video, but this video is where I'm going to explain where I've been and why I haven't been uploading videos. The first thing I want to say is that I'm going to be using some words and some terms in this video that you might not be comfortable having your younger children listen to, so I just wanted to give you an opportunity to pause this video and find something for them to do, or pick up this video again a little bit later when you have some time without small kids around. I want to talk to you about what's been happening with YouTube over the last couple of weeks, what that has me thinking about, and how that's going to be affecting my channel moving forward. Basically what has happened is that there has been some pretty disturbing stuff going on with family channels, or content that some pretty sick people are taking off of family channels that has to do with children. What I understand is that there's some sick folks out there that have gone and taken small clips off of family channels of children, and they have used those clips to create disturbing content. There has also been a series of really horrific comments that have been left on family channels. Now, YouTube is justifiably so trying to staunch this problem, trying to eliminate it, and they've taken some pretty drastic measures to do so that have affected a lot of creators, myself included. I personally applaud anyone who's going to take a stand against any sort of abuse towards children. So I'm 100% supportive of YouTube doing their very best to eliminate this element from the YouTube platform. The way they've gone about it has been difficult for a lot of creators, particularly the larger family channels that have been impacted by what YouTube has done. So basically what has happened is, about a week and a half ago, YouTube went in and took some pretty drastic measures and removed the comment sections and reset the default settings for a very large number of family channels, myself included. So for smaller channels like myself, I've been able to go in and manually reset my default settings and also turn my comment sections back on certain videos. For a lot of the larger channels, any of their videos that have children in them, those comment sections are completely turned off, and the creators don't have the opportunity to turn those back on. So the idea behind doing this is that it's restricting or allowing YouTube to kind of get on top of, and we're not sure what they're doing in the background, but to try to get on top of a lot of these really disturbing comments that are being left on these family channels, and clips that are being taken and used in horrific ways, and that kind of thing, which I totally support. But what this has got me thinking about personally is what kind of content I feel comfortable putting out on YouTube. Many of you guys are probably aware of this if you've watched my channel for a while, that I'm pretty selective about the amount of information I put out about my kids, especially personal stuff, and I also restrict the amount of time they spend in front of the camera, and that this channel, even though it's sort of family content, really doesn't revolve around my children. And that has been a deliberate choice and something that we made the decision to do right from the very beginning of our channel. The other thing that I do on my channel is I highly moderate my comment section. Now I've been super fortunate to only have to delete maybe a handful of comments over the last couple of years of being on YouTube. I don't have any problem with like constructive criticism and things like that. I'm talking about anything of a sexual nature whatsoever. I've been pretty lucky in that I don't really have a lot of trolling going on my channel at this point, and I haven't received a lot of mean comments, but I have received some sexual comments, usually that are directed towards myself, over the last couple of years, and I just have a zero tolerance policy for that. They get deleted and blocked right away, and that's just the way that it works. And I also have the way that YouTube moderation works is you can put a whole bunch of chosen words that you feel that would be inappropriate, so you can use your imagination to what words I have on mine. I've basically put anything that I would be uncomfortable with in that, and all of those comments get immediately put into a held and needing to be approved by me manually section. So like I said, there's only been about a handful of those comments, but there was one time where some guy went in and basically spammed my channel with a whole bunch of disturbing comments that were about pretty much everybody in my household. I was able to go in, block those, report him to YouTube, and he was eliminated from my channel. And that's been the only time that I've had any comments that actually made me think twice about doing YouTube, to be perfectly honest, but I've been really lucky. So those two things, by keeping my kids not the central focus of my channel, and also by heavily moderating my comments, that's kind of how I feel like I protect my family from the unsavory elements of the world. And so far that's worked perfectly well for me. That being said, the way that some of the guidelines are changing around YouTube, and again, this is my only my personal understanding, so make sure you do your own research if you are a content creator, is that the way that YouTube is going to handle this kind of thing going forward is that if your channel, or if you have a video where comments slip through that you don't catch, say, in time before the bots on YouTube do, they'll demonetize that video right away. They may, without any warning, they may demonetize your channel. And if it becomes like a huge problem on your channel, they may actually remove your entire channel. And there is no strike system or warning system for this, which makes it pretty difficult. So a couple of days ago, I was actually thinking, okay, well, I'm just not going to put my kids, besides, you know, like they're doing right now, or they're kind of walking around doing their thing, or they come in and talk to me while I'm doing a video and that kind of thing. I'm just gonna do that. And then I thought, well, maybe that's a bit extreme, and I know everybody really loves the family element of the channel, and my kids love participating, and I choose to pretty much only put my older children that can make their own choices about this kind of thing on my video. So you know what, it's gonna be okay. And then the very next morning, I received a comment that slipped through my pretty rigorous word choice, you know, going into the need to be approved by me file, somehow slipped through. And it was fortunately only on a video that I was in. So if it had been on a video where kids were in, I'm not sure what YouTube would have done, if they would have just pulled that video or what would have happened. I fortunately caught that comment. I was able to delete it and report it. That happened the next day, and I haven't had that happen in a long time. So I kind of took that as okay, you know, look at this a little bit more closely, and really sort of feel out what feels right. And I've always been on the fence about having my kids on social media like this. And the irony of all of this is none of my kids have Facebook until they get into their mid-teens. We don't use social media outside of, like, I run an active Instagram channel that is connected to this channel, but outside of that, nobody even has Instagram in our house. I mean, we're really rigorous around the kind of controls that we have around social media for our kids. So having our kids out on YouTube seems kind of counterintuitive to our overall philosophy. So our plan moving forward is we're going to continue doing content fairly similarly to what we've been doing in the past. Project-based stuff. When the kids are involved, there'll be in and out stuff that has to do with the kitchen and cooking videos. My kids love participating in that, and I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to try to really stay on top of my comment sections in any videos where my kids are. And because here's the other thing, and this is the thing that I've struggled with, is I'm a huge advocate of really wholesome programming on either YouTube or television or anything like that, because as time passes, that kind of content is becoming more and more rare, and more disturbing stuff is becoming more and more popular. So I actually am a huge advocate of wholesome shows that families can watch together, where they don't have to worry about inappropriate stuff being dropped all over the place, and where they have to screen everything their kids watch. I want you guys to be able to come to my channel and know that you're gonna get content that every person in your family can sit down and watch. And if for some reason I put out a video like today, I will make sure that I put a disclaimer at the beginning of it. But I don't even know if that's ever happened up until this point. But I don't want to just not do it because of a few bad apples. And at the same time, I want to protect my family and my children. So I feel like by doing this, where I can just be really kind of wise about what I'm putting out there, but still continue with the family channel vibe, because I really believe in it. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. And the second thing that we're gonna do, for those of you that do want to see more of our family, is we're going to be posting over on Patreon. So I opened up a Patreon a couple of weeks ago, and actually just a little prior to this whole thing happening. So it was really, really good timing. And I'm going to be putting more of the family type content, the kids and things like that, and some of our more personal stuff like our adoption and special needs parenting and all of these kinds of topics that I've received a lot of questions about, but have grappled with putting that content out on YouTube. I'm just gonna be moving that content over to Patreon. So if you're not familiar with Patreon, it's basically a platform where you can pay a fee, and I have mine set up where it's a $2 a month $10 a month and $25 a month. So you can kind of choose the tier that you can afford. I'm going to be putting out content there that is more personal and more family based. I feel 100% comfortable doing that because it is a paid platform. So all likelihood, I'm not going to get any troll over there. And if I do, I can just block them and they can't access the content. Whereas on YouTube, it's really difficult to do that, so anybody can watch it. And I understand completely that not everybody can afford to pay for content. Sure, maybe you can afford to pay for 1 or 2 channels that you love, but a lot of you guys follow a lot of different channels and you can't afford to pay for every single one. And I completely understand that, which is why I also want to keep my content coming out here on YouTube as regularly as it always has. I love the YouTube platform. There's a lot of complicated elements of it, but there's so many things that are wonderful. And it has brought so much joy to our family and enriched it so much. And I'm not planning on not putting out content here on YouTube. But if any of you do want to support or see more content from us, you can go over to Patreon and do that. I do have a link down in the description box below that you can go and click on that will take you over to my Patreon page if you want to go over there to get more kind of personal, intimate kind of content, more of the family stuff, like day in the life videos and adoption related videos and homeschooling and things like that that are more child-centered. That content you will find over on Patreon. So I know not everybody's going to be thrilled about this decision that we've made, but I do hope that you can understand and respect that we're only trying to do what is right for our family. I've actually hesitated, to be honest, to put out this video because people always seem to get really upset, particularly on the YouTube platform, whenever any creator talks about like other avenues to make money. I don't know if the perception is that it's like a money grab or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I have seen a lot of backlash whenever anybody puts out a video about Patreon or anything like this. I hope that you can understand why we're making this choice. And I'll be honest, it is twofold. There is the protection of our family and all of that, but there is also the financial element as well, because you don't make a lot of money making videos, but making videos takes a lot of time and a lot of commitment and a lot of technology, expensive tech, things like that, especially if you want to keep getting better and better at your craft, which I do. So there is a financial end of that, and I know most people understand that. And I hope that you can hear me when I say that I totally get it if you cannot support us on Patreon. I can't support everybody that I love over there either, or on some of the other platforms that people are using. So I really, really do understand that. So please rest assured, for those of you that can't afford Patreon, I'm still going to be here on YouTube, and you can still rely on being able to see us here putting out hopefully good, solid, family-oriented content that everybody can enjoy, while at the same time keeping our family safe. If you do have any further questions about this, please leave it in the comment section below. I'd be curious to see what you guys think about what's happening on YouTube. What's your opinion? Do you think YouTube's doing the right thing? Do you think that there are other ways that we could go about as creators and YouTube itself as a platform being able to protect families and children on this platform? So I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are on that. So I did get another video filmed yesterday that I'm going to be editing today and hopefully putting up within the next day or two. So shortly after this video comes out, there will be another video that is more of the sort of what you expect from Little Mountain Ranch kind of video. I hope you all have a great couple of days. Until I see you again, I hope it's going to be a couple of days. Take care, everyone. Bye.